You are the rock, you are the hard place, you are the slow burn and the quickest about face. Your kind of turbulence, it separates continents, but the garden of your sweet peace bears no resemblance. You are the prophet, you are the fool, you're the exception that always proves the rule. Your kind of insolence, it shatters my confidence, but the garden of your sweet peace bears no resemblance. So stitch my shadow to my heels, steer me clear of battlefields, point out rogue banana peels, I should be alright. You are the old growth, you are the axe, you are the truth that gets in the way of the cold hard facts. Your kind of soulfulness, it counters my woefulness, and in the garden of your sweet peace there's no loneliness. And I got a feeling I can't put a name to, like I've been walking in my sleep and I finally came to. We can only play the cards we got, and you were the hard place. You are the rock. Stitch my shadow to my heels, steer me clear of battlefields, point out rogue banana peels, give me strength not to fight. And I will say with this guitar that I know what the trade-offs are, and I have wished on every star, so I should be alright. Smoke don't rise, fuel don't burn, sun don't shine no more. Late one night, sorrow come around, scratching at my door. Gonna cut my hands and break my back, cracking this bag of stone, till they bury me down beneath the ground with the dust and rattling bones. Left my home, left my love, caught on a rusty nail. Devil rose up heavy with gold, my soul's not for sale. In a holy man in a house of God, he offered me a book of prayer. When I left my home and left my love, I left my faith back there. Smoke don't rise, fuel don't burn, sun don't shine no more. Late one night, sorrow come around, scratching at my door. But I cut my hands and break my back, dragging this bag of stones, till they bury me down beneath the ground with the dust and rattling bones. Shutting my eyes, hang my head, darkness makes no sound. Climbing up the bottom there, it hurts heart's on the way back down. And then the sadness falls in the morning, but wondering what the day will bring. When I shut my eyes and hang my head, at least that bird can sing. Smoke don't rise, fuel don't burn, sun don't shine no more. Late one night, sorrow come around, scratching at my door. But I cut my hands and break my back, dragging this bag of stones, till they bury me down beneath the ground with the dust and rattling bones. Till they bury me down beneath the ground with the dust and rattling bones.
Thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks Gary for the nice intro, and we hope you do support Artichoke in all the coming months and years. This is a great place for us to come and play. We always enjoy it, and it's always a nice crowd and a nice sound system and just good people. And to all of you out there who are tuning into the streaming, welcome. And I'm going to introduce our lead singer and songwriter now. She's also one of the founding members of the band Kristen, Grainger, and True North. I'll let you figure out what her name is. Please welcome Kristen Grainger.
Thank you.
We're going to play a song now that's our most requested and now most streamed song, now that we can say things like this. It's one that Kristen wrote a number of years ago. It's called Doris Dean.
My name is Doris Dean. I was born in 1917. I turned 90 years old today, or it could have been yesterday. I really couldn't say. My mother named me Doris Dean for a trick rider she had seen at some kind of old-time Wild West show. It was part circus, part rodeo, don't have those anymore. That's something that I wish I'd seen. Brave and beautiful Doris Dean, perform feats of courage and grace, and never break a sweat, every hair in place. Wish I could learn to ride like that, in a split skirt and a star-spangled cowboy hat. Maybe everything would have turned out differently for me. Doris Dean McConaughey. Farming beans down in Oregon got us through the Depression. Then the winter I turned 23. I married Robert McConaughey. He ran the cannery. 3 months later, maybe 4, Rob went off to fight the big war. Shot down on the Sea of Japan, or so said the telegram I got from Uncle Sam. That's something that I wish I'd seen. The brave and beautiful Doris Dean, perform feats of courage and grace, and never break a sweat, big smile on her face. Wish I could learn to ride like that, in a satin shirt and a star-spangled cowboy hat. Maybe everything would have turned out differently for me. Doris Dean McConaughey. Sometimes I lie here thinking, and sometimes I just lie, pretend that there's some greater plan. It's not my place to wonder why. Oh, but 90 years later, I must petition my creator. Is this all there is, this hill of beans, for lesser of two Doris Deans? 'Cause that's some that I wish I'd been, the brave and beautiful Doris Dean, could look back with courage and grace and see my ordinary life was no disgrace. Sure, I could learn to ride like that, though I'd probably do without that cowboy hat. Maybe then I'd see it all differently. And me, Dorothy McConaughey. Dorothy McConaughey. I'm gonna play that song in it's the Rocky Mountain Songwriting Contest in Montana in June, and it's always fun to do contests. They're a little weird. It's sort of like if you're an artist, there's a piece of sculpture and a photograph. Which is better? Which gets a trophy? It's very odd, but it's fun to do for somebody like me who's nobody from nowhere, who doesn't have an agent or a label or anything like that. So we distinguish ourselves in the best way we can. In that situation, sometimes it's even a meritocracy, which you can't say that about the music industry generally. But it'll be fun to play that song. It's based on a family story. My grandma was actually named after a trick writer, and her name was Doris Dean. So there you go.
Silence is golden, some may say, some may say. I say silence is a nameless time to kill.
And it's a restless feeling pounding on my brain both night and day. And these old wheels of mine spin louder as it builds. And the sky will surely fall, and my dear eardrum did fail to beat a single time in time or out. Some may make it out all right, some may never know, but these old wheels spin far too loud, far too loud.
Oh, I love to hear the silence of the morning bird choir, sound of coffee boiling in the pot. And how I love to hear I love you in a dry morning tone, and just assume that if I can't, these wheels would stop. Yes, and happy as the day I lay my poor head down, with neither trial nor trouble to compete with a chirp of summer crickets or a tree frog croak. These old wheels slow down enough so I may sleep. Silence is golden, some may say, some may say. I say silence is an aimless time to kill.
And it's a restless feeling pounding on my brain both night and day. These old wheels of mine spin louder as it builds. And it's a restless feeling pounding on my brain both night and day. These old wheels of mine spin louder as it builds. Well, I blew it, and I forgot to introduce my compatriot and spiritual leader here on stage with me tonight. That song is one that he sings, and it's right there on the set list, and that's where I'm supposed to introduce him. So it's really... It's really a pleasure to play with somebody who's as talented as Dan is. And he not only sings well and plays beautifully and plays 5 or 6 instruments, he also builds them. He built the guitar he's playing tonight. You can always tell the guitar players in the audience when Dan plays because they're looking at this headstock like sideways like this, going, "What is that?" And it's Dan Wetzel originally also built my ukulele and several other instruments. We have a new album come out in the fall, and one of the only cover song on the album is one that he did completely arranged on a mandola that he also built, and it's completely a very unique, interesting sounding instrument. And the way we did this cover, it's like nature never intended. So we're looking forward to releasing that soon. But please give a warm welcome to Dan Wetzel.
Here's another song Kristen wrote from 2 albums ago about a little bar in our hometown that we still have never gone in, and now we don't want to. It would kind of ruin it. But you've all been in this place somewhere. This one's called the Dark Horse Bar and Grill.
The Dark Horse Bar and Grill knows you've had your fill of getting out of bed to push that boulder up the hill. And you can hide your car behind the Dark Horse Grill and Bar. They'll be glad to see you, and they don't care who you are or who you're letting down in some other part of town. The Dark Horse has a special vault for storing things that are your fault. The Dark Horse specialty is a time-worn recipe. Blend 2 parts denial with a muddled memory, and you can get your fill on a $20 bill. And if that doesn't do the trick, the whiskey always will. The bourbon and the scotch will kick it up a notch. The Dark Horse has a special vault for storing things that aren't your fault. There's carpet on the walls in case somebody falls. Lots of free philosophy on all the bathroom stalls. The bar stools in a row, the TV's silent glow. Everything's familiar, but there's no one there you know. And nothing's very hard. You just give the man your card. The Dark Horse has a special vault for storing things that aren't your fault. Dark Horse Bar and Grill knows you've had your fill of getting out of bed to push that boulder up the hill. The Dark Horse has a special vault for storing things that aren't your fault. Whatever you need hiding from, whatever you find troublesome, so hand it over, but you know you have to take it with you when you go. So you've been in that bar, right? You've all been in that bar, yeah. On the count of 3, everybody say the name of the bar they've been in. 1, 2, 3. Linger Longer Lodge, Spirit Lake, Idaho? No? There you go. Anybody else? I know you've been in a bar, bit like the Dark Horse, something like that. It's someplace you can hide out in. Yes, yeah. That's right. If you can remember, you weren't really there, right? There you go. Okay.
Kristen mentioned that we have a new album coming out. We just finished recording, but our last album we recorded and launched from our living room because it was during COVID. We were set to go on tour for 40 dates and everything stopped and got canceled. So we stood in our living room and did it and had 12,000 views. So we like to say that was our biggest audience we've ever launched a CD to. And but it was our third #1 album on the folk charts, and for the first time a #1 song. And it was a song Kristen wrote, and it's this one here called "Keep the River on Your Right." It's on our Ghost Tattoo album.
Mid-October, the geese are flying over, headed for the coast. You're not here, and it seems this time of year is when I feel it most. And all that talk of heaven, well, it never resonated back in Sunday school. I found my religion on a windy mountain ridge and on a riverbank with you. When melancholy gets into my way, I remember what you used to say. Keep the river on your right. You can't go wrong with the river on your right. If you've lost your way and running out of daylight, keep the river on your right. The autumn leaves, they whisper in the trees against an endless sky. Despite it all, every leaf must fall just like you and I. And if there is a heaven, well, I bet you got your campsite all staked out. And if there is a heaven, I bet you play that country station way too loud. When melancholy gets into my way, I remember what you used to say. Keep the river on your right. You can't go wrong with the river on your right. If you lost your way and you're running out of daylight, keep the river on your right. Keep the river on your right. You can't go wrong with the river on your right. If you lost your way and you're running out of daylight, keep the river on your right. Keep the river on your right. Thank you so much.
We do have a number of CDs for sale here tonight for anybody that still has a CD player or always dreamed of owning a CD player.
Actually, every CD comes with a free CD player, which is so helpful. Actually, Ghost Tattoo, the most recent album, we put download codes on the front too, so you get not only the album, but you get a download code so you can have all the party favor of a CD, but also you can give the CD to somebody like your grandma who still has a CD player, and you get the download code so you get all the songs.
We're going to do a song here written by a Portland songwriter named Jeffrey Martin, who we're big fans of. Two boys riding in a pickup truck, watching the world roll away from us. Wind so loud, had to shout above it. couldn't get enough of it. Lay me down and sing to me again. Shut my eyes with a song that'll never end. Write it on my mind with that golden thread. Some things you don't forget. Looking at you from across the bedroom, naked as the day that the good Lord made you. Standing like a dream in the morning sun. Well, you can take me now, Lord, I had a good run. Lay me down and sing to me again. Shut my eyes with a song that'll never end. And write it on my mind with that golden thread. Some things you don't forget. Teach me how to shut my mouth, shut my mouth. Teach me how to shut my mouth, shut my mouth. A newborn baby in an old man's hands. A daddy of a daddy made young again. A winding road turns in the dark. No match for the drum of a beating heart. Lay me down and sing to me again. Shut my eyes with a song that'll never end. Write it on my mind with that golden thread. Some things you don't forget. Teach me how to shut my mouth, shut my mouth. Teach me how to shut my mouth, shut my mouth.
So this next song is really in part to belie the rumor that I can't write a happy song ever. I wrote this one. It's a happy song. It's a sort of a How I Met Your Mother song, and spoiler alert, happy ending. I also wrote it because when we recorded this, we were able to play it with 2-octave mandolins, which are they're mandolins, but they're much deeper, fuller sound, and they're beautiful sound, and I love that big fat sound. So it was another way to sneak those in while I was also belying the rumor that I am serving up songs from the 4 food groups of misery. But this one's called Tattooed Love Song, and it's off a Ghost Tattoo. At 9:01, Tanya's light came on. The one on the dash that says check engine now for the 3rd time, maybe 4th time. And she wonders how far she can push before her luck runs out. at the Texaco, fresh from Mexico. Tattoos on his shoulder to make him feel bolder was Jorge, new divorcee, the mechanic on duty when Tanya rolls over. So Tanya, she was instantly charmed by the tat of a cat in repose on his arm. And so Jorge felt that change to his karma. Weatherman, weatherman, what's your prediction? Sometimes the truth can be stranger than fiction. And the world can be cruel, and the world can be cold, and love belongs to the innocent and rewards the bold. At the Coke machine, Tanya's coming clean about her long-suffering 96 Honda Accord. Look at Jorge, doesn't hear a word she say. His hopes writing checks that his heart can't afford. Oh, so Jorge tosses caution away with a prayer to Our Lady of Guadalupe to win Tanya. Tell me just what to say. Weatherman, weatherman, what's your prediction? Sometimes the truth can be stranger than fiction. And the world can be cruel, and the world can be cold, and love belongs to the innocent and rewards the bold. Each November, they remember that light on the dash that says check engine now. This next song is a song I wrote that I played at the Wildflower songwriting competition and won with it. And it's a song I wrote for a friend of mine who is probably the healthiest person I ever met and suddenly drops dead and completely unexplainable. So they threw a funeral for her. Folks are super conservative, and they had a very, very conservative funeral for her. And if you knew her, she and I were the people in the back of the meeting who were making all kinds of noise and trouble, and she was full of sass. She's the kind of person who would want Back in Black played at her funeral. She's just a non sequitur 6'2" person, and it took me a long time to sort through all my feelings about that. And I wrote this thinking about if she had been sitting next to me at her funeral, the kind of conversation we might have. And it's called "The Ratio of Angels to Demons." 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Today was our final farewell. It was awkward for you, I could tell. So I smiled and said, see you in hell. And I tossed my rose. Did you laugh at the look on my face when they broke into Amazing Grace? That old funeral parlor cliche I know you never chose. Somebody give me a reason you don't get to play out the season, or hazard a guess at the unevenness in the ratio of angels to demons. You'll accuse me of trying to be clever, but a part of me will ache forever, like the place where a limb has been severed. How's that for a rhyme? Biographies are written in chalk, washed away by the rain on the sidewalk. You played scissors and fate, it played rock. It wins every time. Somebody give me a reason you don't get to play out the season, or hazard a guess at the unevenness in the ratio of angels to demons. Somebody give me a reason you don't get to play out the season, or hazard a guess at the unevenness in the ratio of angels to demons. Today was our final farewell. It was awkward for you, I could tell. So I smiled and said, see you in hell. And I tossed my rose.
We're going to do one song here from our new album that will be out sometime late summer, early fall. And it's got great songs that Kristen wrote once again on there, and this one is one of them. And it's kind of spooky as we're putting it all
Again,
together.
the 4 food groups of misery.
Grew into
Here
a
you go.
cool song. It's called Extraordinary Grace.
Take the sandal off my chest, cut the anchor from my ankle, quit letting out the rope. 'Cause I am stained by your disdain, I am rankled by your rancor, and running out of hope. All the birds and all the bees, the girls who fly the high trapeze, tumble to the ground without a net. And all of our advanced degrees and all our sweet discoveries could save us, but they haven't saved us yet. I once believed in extraordinary grace. I put my faith in saints and saviors. In the mirror I can't bear to see my heroine killing time till time returns the favor. Killing time till time returns the favor. Take your tactical defense, take your silent petulance, your temper's coiled spring. 'Cause I no longer find exciting this pendulum we're riding when moods start to swing. All the moms and all the pops, convenience stores and auto shops cannot fix the promises we've broken. all impassioned pleas to Jesus, all the phony press releases, falling short of truths we've never spoken. I once believed in extraordinary grace. I put my faith in saints and saviors. But in the mirror I can't bear to see my heroine killing time till time returns the favor. Killing time till time returns the favor. Killing time till time returns the favor. Once believed in extraordinary grace. I put my faith in saints and saviors. In the mirror I can't bear to see my heroine killing time till time returns the favor. Killing time till time returns the favor. Take this anvil off my chest, cut the anchor from my ankle, quit letting out the rope.
Spooky, see? Good song. This next song is one Kristen wrote from 3 albums ago and was named the International Music Entertainment Association's Song of the Year, Folk Song of the Year. That is a big deal.
Well, and there's a special subcategory of best song ever written in a hardware store. Small category, but
One by one vote. That's right. Yeah. It's called Be Here Now. It's on our Elsebound album.
they were on their honeymoon, and the bride said to the groom, I just can't forget the dream I had last night. I saw John, Paul, George, and Ringo in the churchyard playing bingo on the gravestones. This is how the groom replied. He said, be here now, be with me, look into my eyes, kiss me, make this a moment we will savor, and we'll put it aside for later. We are young, our lives begun, but it will not last forever. There'll be days we're not together, so be here now. They were in their middle years, pretty deep in their careers, and he called her from the plane in Amsterdam. He said, I just heard John, Paul, George, and Ringo, and that dusty old hit single on the music. It made me want to hold your hand. She said, be here now, be with me, look into my eyes, kiss me, make this a moment we will savor, and we'll put it aside for later. Though our hearts still feel that hunger, we don't get any younger from the start. Our days are numbered, so be here now. was after visiting hours, and he'd rearranged the flowers, and she hadn't recognized him in a week. And the nurses heard him sing, "Hey, you gotta hide your love away." And she opened up her eyes and began to speak. She said, "Be here now, be with me, look into my eyes, kiss me. Every breath becomes a treasure. In my heart we're young forever. My race is nearly run. I no longer feel the sun, but I can face whatever comes. Just be here now. Though my race is nearly run, I no longer feel the sun, but I can face whatever comes. Just be here now. Just be here now." We're going to do one more and then take a little break. Hope you'll stick around, and we'll be back in a few.
I also want to introduce another very important member of the band tonight, and that's Gary back there doing sound.
Yes. Thanks,
A lot
Gary.
different if he
Gary's
wasn't
awesome.
here.
Nobody better.
You know, we all walk into these venues at different times like, I heard these guys a couple of weeks ago, and they were great, and tonight they just weren't that good. I guess they just had an off night, and often they'd have a different sound operator who's not very good at it, but we always love playing here
because we're consistently fabulous. I mean, obviously, that's not us. It's a hypothetical situation, right?
It was hypothetical.
Yeah.
Here's a Dire Straits song to close the set. A love-struck Romeo sings the streets a serenade. Well, he's laying everybody low with the love song that he made. He finds a convenient street light and he steps out of the shade. Says something like, "You and me, babe, how about it?" Juliet said,
"Hey there, Romeo, well, you nearly give me a heart attack. He's underneath my window and I'm singing, 'Hey, love, my boyfriend's back.' You know you shouldn't go around just singing up to people like that, but anyway, what you gonna do about it?" Juliet, the dice were loaded from the start, and I bet, and you exploded into my heart, and I forget.
movie song.
When you gonna realize it was just that the time was wrong.
We come up on different streets, but they were both the streets of shame. Well, they're
Both dirty, both mean, and the dream was the same. And I dreamed your dream for you, and now your dream is real. How can you turn and walk away like I was just another one of your deals? Well, you can fall for chains of silver, and you can call for chains of gold, and you can fall for pretty strangers and the promises they hold. Promise me everything. You promise me thick and thin.
now you just turn away and say,
Romeo, I think I used to have a scene with him.
Juliet,
When we made love, you used to cry. Said I love you like the stars above. I'm gonna love you till I die. And there's a place for us.
the movie song.
When you're gonna realize it was just that the time was wrong.
I can't do the talk like they do on my TV, and I can't sing a love song not the way you sang to me. I can't do anything, but I'd do anything for you. All I do is miss you and the way it used to be. All I do is keep the beat in bad, bad company. All I do is kiss you through the bars of this rhyme, and I do the stars with you any old time. Juliet, when we made love, you used to cry. You said, I love you like a star's above. I'm gonna love you till I die, and there's a place for us. You know the movie song, when you gonna realize it was just as the time was wrong. A love-struck Romeo sings the streets a serenade. Well, he's laying everybody low with the love song that he made. He finds a convenient street light and he steps out of the shade, says something like, you and me, babe, how about it?
Thank you. We'll be right back.
We'll be right
Thank
back.
you. probably unplugged it. Okay.
I tuned you.
Oh, thanks.
Pretty good.
Yeah, seems like it. Okay.
Welcome back, everybody. We never know what's more impressive, the amount of people that come and hear us play or the amount of people that stay. But we're always appreciative.
Ring them bells, ye heathens, for the city that dreams. Ring them bells from the sanctuaries, cross the valleys and streams. 'Cause they're deep and they're wide, and the world is on its side. Time is running backwards, and so is the bride. Ring them bells, St. Peter, where the four winds blow. Ring them bells with an iron hand, so the people will know that it's rush hour now on the wheel and the plow. Sun is going down upon the sacred cow. Ring them bells, sweet Martha, for the poor man's son. Ring them bells so the world will know that God is one. Oh, the shepherds will sleep where the willows weep. Mountains are filled with lost sheep. Ring them bells for the blind and the deaf. Ring them bells for those of us who were left. Ring them bells for the chosen few. Judge the many when the day is through. Ring them bells for the time that flies and the child that cries when the innocence dies. Ring them bells, St. Catherine, from the top of the room. Ring them from the fortress for the lilies that bloom. Oh, the waiting is long and the fighting is strong, breaking down the distance between right and wrong. Oh, the waiting is long and the fighting is strong, breaking down the distance between right and wrong. The time has come, there is no second chance. We've been drifting on this endless aching sea. I was the girl you never knew you wanted. You were the boy I hoped I'd never see. And it's a shame we ain't lovers. Could have been something so big and grand, just kissing for hours underneath that sweet magnolia, begging for answers, trying to make a stand. Just burning up the hours, talking to the midnight, just dreaming of ways I could hold you next to me. But maybe it just wasn't meant, all things have a reason. Maybe our hearts were just too careless and time you could have had me. There was a time when I could have had you. But it's too late, another path has come and gone again. I'm at the back door with a broken window view, singing, it's a shame we ain't lovers. Could have been something so big and grand, just kissing for hours underneath that sweet magnolia, begging for answers, trying to make a stand. And it's a shame we ain't lovers. Could have been something so big and grand, just kissing for hours underneath that sweet magnolia, begging for answers, trying to make a stand. Just trying to make a stand. Just trying to make a stand. So I had a request from the audience to talk a little bit about songwriting process, and try not to make this too long. The process is different for everybody, and there's no one right way, but my way is I'm a reader and a consumer of words. I love words, I love ideas, and I lock on to something that I see. I can read it in a newspaper, I can overhear it on an elevator. Any kind of phrase that strikes my ear a certain way, and depending on the circumstances, I can probably build a song out of just about anything. Now, not a great song, not all songs are great, but I don't, people ask, do you write the melody or the lyrics first? I write them both at the same time, because to me the words are really important, so I want a melody that conveys that phrase, those words, in such a way that it lands, you know, it resonates with whoever hears it. So when I frequently get people saying, I love to listen to you sing because you enunciate and I can understand every word. I'm like, well, it's partly enunciation maybe, but it's also that I've written that melody so that the part I want you to hear, that I want to catch you right here, it's gonna get to you. I write almost exclusively on the piano, and I write a few songs on the ukulele, but I'm really kind of a meat and potatoes ukulele player. And then from there, Dan is super good about adapting it to the guitar, and he's so sweet. He says, I want to play the guitar so that someone listening to a recording thinks you're playing for yourself. And I'm like, oh, God, you are so the right boy for me.
Oh, start.
Yeah. So that's kind of basically a process. I wrote, let's see, I'm trying to think of the songs we did tonight. The Doris Dean came from, we were flying home from the World Bluegrass Festival in the Netherlands, and I wrote it on the back of a customs form. I had to get a whole new customs form because I had to take that one home because it had all the words on it. But I was thinking about this family story, and we'd been on a stage with Cy Khan, who writes these really great songs about workers, about unions and workers, and really compelling songs. And I thought, there's got to be a good way to get this story out. And that's one of the earliest songs I ever wrote. And what I learned from that song, you'll notice there's a lot of words in it that I learned to distill, and try to make things the most potent version of the idea. And so you put that phrase, that most potent phrase, to music, and that will hopefully carry the song. And then I'm thinking about, ratio. Ratio of angels to demons. That phrase is what my friend Julianne, who died, I was thinking there's one less really wonderful person on the planet, and the ratio is completely shifted for me, ratio of angels to demons. So that was the premise. It also would be a phrase she would have loved. So those are the kinds of things that I find inspirational. And frankly, there's so much human folly in the world. I mean, everybody falls in love, everybody gets their heart broken, everybody, born, suffers, dies, has joy, has grief, and really, you don't even have to read the newspaper. It's everywhere. So there's no shortage of material. So I don't understand writer's block, and I don't understand. I mean, it's like I
have to get them all out while I can still remember them. And at the same time, like I said, not all songs are created equal. So there you go. My process in 3 minutes or however long that was. So, okay.
Well, I'm wilder than her. What else can I say? But I guess that's why she fell in love with me. She's a house on fire. She's got all those charms. I'm a house on fire too, but I got 4 alarms. And I'm wilder than her. Drives her out of her mind. I guess she thought that she was just one of a kind. She's a summer storm. I'm a hurricane. One just blows through town. One blows the town away. And I'm wilder than her. We go driving in our cars, racing through the night. She can drive as fast as me, but she stops at all the lights. She says it's 'cause I'm crazy, and she's probably right. But I know the reason is that I'm twice as wild. And I'm wilder than her. Drives her out of her mind. I guess she thought that she was just one of a kind. Yeah, she's a summer storm. And I'm a hurricane. One just blows through town. One blows the town away. And I'm wilder than her. When she takes my hand and looks me in the eye, I see something that I've never seen in my life. She takes a fire, turns it down low. She takes the night and makes it not so cold. She can take the distance and break it into miles. She can make my life a little less wild. And I'm wilder than her. Drives her out of her mind. I guess she thought that she was just one of a kind. Yeah, she's a summer storm. And I'm a hurricane. One just blows through town. One blows the town away. Yeah, she's a summer storm. And I'm a hurricane. One just blows through town. One blows the town away. And I'm wilder than her. Kristen's now going to talk about the process of writing this next song from our Ghost Tattoo album.
Yeah, so speaking of inspiration and no shortage of material, in 2018, June 2018, the story broke about the kids being forcibly separated from their parents and put into these detention centers for months in really deplorable conditions, and 8 of them died. At least 8 of them have died. And they're still, even now, searching for the hundreds of parents that they deported, or guardians or whoever was with them that they deported and didn't track. And when that news broke, I kind of just landed on it. It really bothered me. I couldn't sleep. And then Neil Young sent out this big public relations campaign saying, okay, artists, this is what we do. When something terrible happens, we create art around it, and it helps people access difficult and really repugnant, repellent things. It helps them access it in a way that they can relate to and maybe take action. So I did. I wrote this next song, and it got chosen for, Peter, Paul, and Mary. Noel Paul Stuckey, who's one of the Peter, Paul, and Mary. He's the Paul, apparently. Now has a compilation album he puts out every year of the best social justice songwriting, and this song was selected for that. And it's been played at many children's rights law conferences and things like that where, again, people are trying to figure out how to talk about these really horrible things to the more general public. And it's a song that's got 2 Spanish words in it. It's got abuelito, which is grandpa. It's the diminutive of grandfather, which is abuelo, and that's also in the song. And Americanos, well, that's us. So it's called The Ghost of Abuelito. Miguel, my brother, he's 11. I am Alma, I am 7. Old enough to remember home. The sound of gunfire in the night, an ordinary part of life, at least the only life I've ever known. Miguel refused to cry the day we headed north from Ecuador to the USA. Even when we gave our dog away, even after throwing stones to make her stay. He says the ghost of Abuelito comes to him when he's afraid. His spirit comes down from the stars, still smells of coffee and cigars. But when he is there, Miguel is brave. Abuelito wanted it that way. At the border things got tense, with our backs against the fence, all those uniforms and guns. Americanos took our mother in one direction and us the other, and we haven't seen our mother since. Inside 100 babies cry, and I can't stop myself from always asking why. When will my mama come to get me? Did she go off and forget me? And Miguel just takes my hand and sighs. He says the ghost of Abuelito comes to us when we're afraid. His spirit comes down from the stars, still smells of coffee and cigars. But when he is there, we'll both be brave. Abuelito wanted it that way. He says Abuelito told him, America will always take you in. Her gates are guarded by a goddess. She welcomes you no matter where you've been. Minutes to hours, days to weeks, Miguel, my brother, hardly speaks. Bit by bit, he's disappearing. I asked him if he'd say the prayer, the one that brings Abuelito here. He said, Abuelito's hard of hearing. Inside 100 babies cry, and the ones that are old enough to talk keep asking why. When will my mama come to get me? Did she go off and forget me? And I take their tiny hands and lie. I say the ghosts of los abuelos guard us as we sleep under the moon. Abuelos hate to see us suffer. They're out searching for our mothers, and they'll bring our mothers soon. Abuelos hate to see us suffer. They're out searching for our mothers, and they'll bring our mothers soon. Okay. Yeah. So after that upbeat, happy little number, we're gonna do one that I wrote that is actually a happy song. Anybody here a fan of Wendell Berry, writer? Yeah, he's awesome. He's a great poet and essayist and writer of fiction. And he wrote a story, I think it's called The Walk Home, and it's about a guy walking home after he's been discharged from the armed forces after World War II, and he's dropped off in a big city in Kentucky, and he has to walk a long ways, a couple days worth of walking to his hometown. And his family doesn't know if he's alive or dead. And so he's walking, and he's trying really hard. I love this part, that he's trying really hard not to count his steps. So he's thinking about what he's going to say and what he's going to do and all the things around him and how beautiful the landscape is, that it hasn't been ruined by tanks and fire and war. It's a beautiful story. I'd highly recommend it. And I wrote this about that feeling of anticipation and that the importance of family. And it's called Till I Have You. Out on the road, I'm as lonesome as a star, still 100 miles away from where you are. And I got nothing to my name but a strong desire to put a healthy distance between me and that war. But the day is breaking and the birds are waking. From a yellow house comes the smell of biscuits baking. These are the treasures I collect as I'm passing through. They'll have to do till I have you. I got this road and a light to travel by. Two good legs since I ain't got wings to fly. I got a couple dollars, just enough to get me by, till I cross that river and I'm home dry. And the next town's coming, there's a cafe humming, where the begs are cooking and the waitress is good looking. These are the treasures I collect as I'm passing through. They'll have to do till I have you. And hawk is searching and the redbirds chirping. Sun's hot as blazes on that field of daisies. These are the treasures I collect as I'm passing through. They'll have to do till I have you. Nothing but my shadow to tell my troubles to. It'll have to do till I have you. It's banjo, huh? That's right.
The first time I saw you, you were running for a train. Body like a shadow slipped away. And in a bright display of color, the tunnel swept me under. The last thing I remember was your face. I thought that I might see you in some movie theater chair, some vinyl back booth diner way downtown. So I watched for you in windows, sprayed your name across cement walls, in parking lots when no one was around. And
the city lights, they shine like silver. And the city lights, they shine like gold. I'm holding out something better. And what it is, I don't know. The second time I saw you, you were running in the rain, ducked back inside a Chinese restaurant. I drove around the block, cursed the lights and double parked, found only an old scarf that you forgot. And I wore it all that winter, thought I'd see you in the street, and your eye would catch and suddenly you'd know. Glance across a subway or a central station bus, two strangers locking eyes above it all. And the city lights, they shine like silver. And the city lights, they shine like gold. I'm holding out for something better. And what it is, I don't know. I'm all right if you're asking. I'm just tired, and I'm just stoned, and the city lights are a constellation, and your upturned face is what I'm searching for. Came around the corner on a bitter Saturday. The flowers stand in trash cans on the curb, and I bought a cup of coffee from a man who never saw me. Turned around and raised it up, and there you were. My heart escaped my body, flew right up and disappeared. I thought that I might lose you in the crowd, but you crossed the street and suddenly your voice was in my ear, saying, don't I know your face from somewhere else? And the city lights, they shine like silver. And the city lights, they shine like gold. I'm holding out something better than what it is. I don't know. I'm holding out something better than what it is. I don't know.
Thank you. That was a song written by another Portland songwriter, Anna Tibble, that we're also big fans of. So.
Yes, if you've not heard Anna Tibble, you need to rush to whatever show she is doing next in town. She's fantastic.
Here's a song from our Ghost Tattoo album, written by Tim O'Brien and Daryl Scott. We're doing other people's songs all of a sudden. We don't know why. We just do that sometimes. So, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. This is a song nobody knows. I couldn't begin to describe how it goes, but it makes me cry. I laugh right out loud. It's a song that I sing when there's no one around.
This is the girl nobody sees. She wears all my old clothes. She looks just like me, and if she learned to fly, she'd never touch down. She's the girl that I am when there's no one around. 'Cause it's 4 in the morning, I'm lying in bed with the tape of my failures playing inside my head. Hard knocks and heartaches, things I don't know. Listen and wonder, where will it go? This is a glimpse of a child within. He's so immature, he's still my best friend. He's just one of the boys, he gets lost in the crowd. He's the kid that I am when there's no one around. This is the dance I do every day. I just set my soul free, and it takes me away, and it leads my steps to higher ground. It's a dance that I do when there's no one around.
'Cause it's 4 in the morning, I'm lying in bed with the tape of my failures playing inside my head. Hard knocks and heartaches, things I don't know. I listen and wonder, where will it go? This is a song that nobody knows. I couldn't begin to describe how it goes, but it makes me cry and laugh right out loud. It's a song that I sing when there's no one around. It's a dance that I do to follow the sound. One deep inside, alone in a crowd. It's a song that I sing when there's no one around.
I know, right? So Dan and I celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary, and yeah, I know. And we really feel lucky to have found each other. At least I feel really lucky to have found Dan, and we've made a really great life together. And so it was during COVID when things were kind of, are we open, are we closed, what are we doing? So instead of the usual and customary kind of anniversary things, I wrote him a song, and we just put it on our new album. And so it's clean, you know, that's the most important thing. And right, no explicit lyrics. But it's about that gratitude, and it's called The Avalanche. Okay, here we go. I won't soon forget the day I slipped and fell into the Milky Way, and the shimmering lights of a billion stars shone like fireflies in mason jars. I won't soon forget the night the owl shared a gift of flight, and I silently rise over rocks and trees beneath the watchful eye of the Pleiades. But of all the beauty I have seen, wide awake or in my dreams, overcame a fear of heights to catch the beauty of the northern lights. With the city below me and the clouds at my feet, beheld its gorgeous luminosity. But of all the beauty I have seen, wide awake or in my dreams, nothing moves me, none of that moves me, nothing moves me like you do. I won't forget we got the chance to ride the crest of the avalanche. Well, it shivered my timbers, it rolled like a whale, all sparkling white like a wedding veil. And it bucked like a Mustang, it struck like a pike. It was everything I wanted true love to be like. But of all the beauty I have seen, wide awake or in my dreams, and of all the beauty I have known in the world and on my own, nothing moves me, none of that moves me, nothing moves me like you do, like you do. It's so romantic.
This is a song from our Elsbound album written by a guy named Craig Carruthers, who was a Portland songwriter and now a Nashville songwriter. And our friends call this the acronym song. Well, it ain't his fault she went AWOL, 'cause he tried everything from A to Z. Now it's J and B, M&M's and KFC. He's trying hard to make himself believe, but it ain't no BFD, 'cause he's got CBD, no SEX. Now that's okay, at least he ain't no SOB, like that PhD that took his ex and ran off to LA.
She liked CNN, made fun of his TNN. She always called it EIEIO. Now their love is RIP, but at least he's FRE.
And he ain't crying on his PILLO, but it ain't no BFD, 'cause he's got CBD, no SEX. Well, that's okay, at least he ain't no SOB, like that PhD that took his ex and ran off to LA. One night he ordered pizza for some R&R with the NFL, when a delivery girl named Lisa stole his heart when she rang his bell. Now they're in
LUV, and it's XTC, no SEX.
well, not yet.
That's A-OK.
Feels just like a VIP
With all of her TLC and ASAP.
She'll be his fiance,
And that's a BFD, OMG.
in a real big way.
Okay. That one.
Well, I'm going away, 'cause I got a busted heart, and I'm leaving today. If my travel all will start, and I reckon where I'm headed, I might need me different clothes. Way up in Michigan, where the Laughing River flows. 10 years in the minor leagues, weren't no place I didn't go. And I had a few hits, but I never made the show. And I could hang on for a few years, doing what I'd done before. I want to hear that Laughing River flow right outside my door. So it's goodbye to the bus, and goodbye to paying dues, and it's goodbye to the cheers, and goodbye to the booze. And I'm trading in this old bat for a fishing pole. I want to let that Laughing River flow right into my soul. Holy cats, honey. My cousin Ray says he's got a job for me, where the houses are cheap, even knows this nice lady. She says she saw me play once, and she smiled at my name. Up on the Laughing River, it's gonna be a brand new game. So I'm going away, 'cause I got a busted heart, and I'm leaving today. If my travel all will start, and I reckon where I'm headed, I might need me different clothes. Way up in Michigan, where Laughing River flows. Way up in Michigan, where Laughing River flows.
Well, thanks very much. We're going to do one more song and then bid you all good night. We really want to thank you for coming out tonight. We want to thank Gary again for great sound.
And Chris for tending bar. Thank you.
And mostly thank you all. We know what it's like now to play to empty rooms.
Oh, and Steve
without
at the
an
door.
audience.
Thanks,
Oh, and
Steve
Steven
at the door.
yes.
Thanks, Steve.
And anyway, we know what it's like to play to empty rooms, and it's just really nice to have people out there listening again. You're every bit as integrally part of this as we are up here, because without you, there's no live music. There's just rehearsal. And to everybody out there who tuned in, thank you for doing that. And
Hi, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
anyway, we want to remind you, if you've enjoyed us, we're True North Duo. You can find out more about us at truenorthband.com. And we have our schedules there. You can buy our CDs and T-shirts and watch videos and all kinds of things there. And we're going to send you off with one last song Kristen wrote from our Ghost Tattoo album. Do you want to say anything about it, or just?
It's a state motto. This will be on the test later, the pop quiz later. So this is the state motto. She says, come on over, we got work to do. She says, don't just stand there, there's a place for you, and you, and you, and you. 'Cause it's true, with different points of view. There's more hands and eyes and hearts to make a plan and follow through. 'Cause she flies with her own wings, she's on the lookout for better things. She's keeping her eyes on that western horizon. And if a storm is blowing, she's gonna get where she's going. In spite of bruises and bee stings, she relies on her own wings. She says it's only thunder, don't be frightened. The thing to watch for is the lightning. Yeah, the lightning is the thing that destroys. The thunder's just a noise, a bully with a megaphone who threatens and annoys. As she flies with her own wings, she's on the lookout for better things. She's keeping her eyes on that western horizon. And if a storm is blowing, she's gonna get where she's going. In spite of bruises and bee stings, she relies on her own wings. And up on the timberline, in a tall stand of trees, she's waiting for the sun to rise again. Night fades to morning new, the sky shades of rose and blue. She takes a breath and leaps into the currents of the wind. And she flies with her own wings, she's on the lookout for better things. She's keeping her eyes on that western horizon. And if a storm is blowing, she's gonna get where she's going. In spite of bruises and bee stings, she relies on her own wings. She says, come on over, we got work to do. Good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.